I had the wrong mic set. There we go. Now I got the correct mic. Okay. There. Alright. Let's see, what was I doing before I left? Alright. Okay, I got all chameleon. Inside new crowd momentum. Okay. Open map. Why am I down here? Oh, I went to go do that to get the bow, huh? Yeah, that's what I want to go do. Okay. Well, then let's go down here. Alright. See if anyone joins. Then I can do... Alright. And I need to edit all my Oblivion videos and get them out still. Go over here. Supposed to talk to Bird.
Go take your break.
Another day, another day, another septum.
Spies.
Except for Gerald coming back from a trip down south, things are pretty quiet. Not much travel right now with the Oblivion crisis. I've told my men to keep a sharp eye out, but I've had no reports of any strangers in town. What about you? Turned up anything suspicious?
Nothing of interest to report. Why am I getting a phone call?
All right, anything I can do for you, just let me know. Another.
Wait, so he had nothing for me? Is that all I was supposed to do? It's been like 3 months since I last played. I don't remember what I'm doing. Where's my jump? There's my jump. Oh, I got some height there. I'm supposed to go in here? It's locked. Wait until I eat.
Good day. I'm Tolkien, herald to Countess Narina Carvane here in Bruma. She requests your company at your earliest convenience.
What's this regarding?
Countess Carvane would prefer if you speak to her in person. She also said to present you with this stipend as a taste of things to come. My lady holds court from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening each day. That would be the best time to see her.
Okay.
Safe journey, my lord.
Oh, I remember this. I'm gonna have to pick this lock. Oh, I only got 7. Oh wait, this is a skeleton key. There we go. It's been so long since I played, I didn't even remember I had the skeleton key. Oh, this person's not gonna see me. Yeah, now you can't see me. Dumb. You're dead. I should continue searching. What's up, Nova? How you doing?
Paradise awaits me.
Alright, there we go. I should continue to search for the spies. Oh. Hey, what's up? Best day? Waffles, whatever you want to go by now. Gosh dang it, no. It's going good. Been busy. Y'all been doing good? How have you been doing? What, was there anything in there? I didn't see anything. Alright, guess go this way. Storage outside. That's good. There ain't nothing in here. It wants me to go back to the basement. Am I? Let me pull up the stream on my phone so I can see. Alright, Let's see what you're talking about. Alright, I got it pulled up on my phone. See what you're talking about. Does look like the video quality is diminished a little bit, but I don't see any oh yeah, here we go. What's going on here? Warning. What's going on here? Connect streaming software to go live. What is... Yeah, for some reason my bit rate is low. What's up, Slim? There we go. Now it's showing that it's good. Is brother getting on? If so, I'll wait for him, but I was gonna go to the Google to the Xbox Edge or whatever it's called, Microsoft Edge, like we did the other day. Nothing really interesting recently, for me at least. Yeah, I also think it, alright, I'll wait for him. I think I'm gonna talk about a little bit about, the pyramids a little bit.
What have you learned about the spies?
Yeah, I will after, brother gets on.
Excellent work. I knew I could count on you. The gods did not idly choose you as their agent, whatever you may think. But it is clear that Mankar Cameron will soon bring all his power to bear against Bruma. I will warn the Countess of the danger. You should speak.
So when he gets on, I'm gonna go to Microsoft Edge and show you pictures of what I'm talking about. I should have, before I started streaming, I should have already loaded up those images that I'm going to be looking for. But, I didn't, so I'm gonna have to search them up when we get into that.
Portal to Cameron's paradise. Xerxes mentions 4 items needed for the ritual, but so far I have only deciphered one of them: the blood of a Daedric lord. In fact, Daedric artifacts are known to be formed from the essence of a Daedric lord, from whence they derive their great power. Not an easy thing to come by, obviously, but we will need a Daedric artifact. Bring it to me when you are. I think I
So
more of the ritual. I hope to have made some progress by the time you return. The Daedric artifact.
saw dinos today. What were you doing to see dinos? Yeah, you can't hear the audio in the game at all, can you? Let's see. See if that... Well, I don't know if master... I just need dialogue. There we go. See if that's any better. There we go. History. Cool, it's like a museum. That's cool, I like museums. They can be fun. Alright. Bring it to... So I just need to go to... a shrine. I don't know what shrine I should go to, though. I don't want to... Sugaroth. Yeah, we'll just go to this one. About your city, that's cool. Yeah, I like local museums. Show cool local history facts.
Who are you? Why do you invade our place of worship? Surely, you don't think yourself worthy to visit Namira's shrine. A place of blessed darkness. A holy place where we may worship in our
Alright, I wish.
You do.
Whatever.
You are too pretty to worship in this place. People like you like to hear you talk. When you are more loathsome, you may return.
So I
Be
just need
seeing
you
ya.
bad. Is that literally what she's saying? And there was a nature side where you can go to a fake cave, dive in on the other side. Oh, that's cool, fake diving. I bet that was fun. Alright. Well, I'm gonna save it real quick, and then we'll just go start, even though he's not here right now. Alright. There you are. Alright, I was just wondering if you're gonna show up so we can, I was gonna wait to see if you were gonna show up before I start talking about this, if you wanted to listen to this again. Alright. Alright, make sure my mouse, yeah, my mouse is working. Alright. Man, I have horrible spelling. Yeah, my wife is an English teacher. Alright, here we go. That's not what I meant to click. I didn't mean to click powered either. I meant to click plant. Stupid mouse. Alright, here we go. Alright, so there's that. You grab a Gatorade. Don't worry, I gotta look all this stuff up real quick. Alright, go grab your Gatorade. I gotta look this stuff up real quick. Have y'all ever heard about the pyramids actually being a battery, like power plant? I'm misspelling that too. Less electricity. Why did that just go blank? There we go. Enter. Round. Gaza. When they were built. Are conspiracies like that's not entirely true. Alright, you're back. I have heard something fishy about the I've heard of them being power plants, yeah. So conspiracies aren't myths. Majority of conspiracies have actually been actually proven true and actually have been admitted by um, the government. A lot of them, such as MK Ultra. So if you don't know what this is just an example, but MK Ultra, um, the MK Ultra was actually that's not what I clicked. Why? No, go full screen. MK Ultra was mind controlled by the CIA. And the CIA has admitted it to be true. We can talk about that someday. But basically, MK Ultra was used by the CIA to brainwash people, and it worked and actually caused deaths and suicides of people. So like this one is a cool conspiracy. It's the chances of this one being proven true are slim, due to the person who's in charge in Egypt. So then, what's the difference? Did I spell around with an F? um, what's the difference between a myth? Well, because a myth is just not true. Myth is like mythology, like the Greek gods. That's myth. There's so yeah, a lot of that difference is a lot of almost every lie is grounded in a bit of truth. The difference is how wild can that lie get, and a lot of conspiracies, they go way too far, which makes them not true. But um, but actually, a lot of conspiracies have been proven to be true and are true. It just usually takes a long time for either like the CIA, FBI, or whoever to disclose it, because they have to wait a certain amount of time. Just like with the JFK files that was recently released, they waited for certain key people that were in those documents to pass away. So that's a big thing is about that stuff. But let's get into the pyramids. I think I got everything pulled up. There's a few other things I was going to pull up, but all right. So this is the location back when the pyramids were made. The Nile actually went up right next to the pyramids. So for this theory to actually work, it had to have that water flowing right by the pyramids of Giza to actually be able to support this theory. And they did at the time. Now, due to erosion, the Nile is further away just from erosion. Why are you not there we go, now it's going. It's further away due to erosion. So it's not right up against it anymore. It's moved now. Last time maps wasn't working. Alright, so there's a pyramid. Yeah, let's see where's the Nile at. So now the Nile is way over here. So remember, the pyramids were built over 5,000 years ago. Depending on who you see or listen to, some people believe they were built during this time period, which I personally don't believe. And I believe it was a lot older. And some people believe it was built during this time period. There's multiple proofs on either side. So conspiracies might be true but need to be debunked. So the conspiracies are basically trying to debunk certain things. Yeah, they need to be proven not true. Some things are just so outlandish. But almost everything is grounded in truth. It's just a lot of them just go off the deep end. Alright, so this... So you gotta remember, over 5,000 years ago, this Nile was a lot closer. Also, this might surprise you. I think this was like 3,000 BC. Oh, there we go. 6,000 being, however. Okay, here we go. So yeah, 4,000 BC. So the Sahara actually used to actually be a giant forest. And it used to not be a desert. It actually used to have lots of rivers. It actually had the biggest river in the world. She's rubbing off on me, but not the English. That's not rubbing off on me, huh? So it actually used to be a giant lush forest, and so the reason why I'm saying this isn't part of the conspiracy, but this just proves how much stuff can change over time. So the river, the Nile, moving that big of a distance in over the span of the last 4,000 or 5,000 years isn't very far out there, considering it used to be a forest, right? All right. So now let's get into the actual conspiracies with this. So, let's see where did I? All right. So there was no mummies ever found in the pyramids of Gaza or Giza. People say it's because they've been looted, but there's just no proof of mummies ever being in there. There was never any mummies found. Which, if you watch and listen to the narrative in history books by the mainstream, also, Waffles, since you're still in school, answer the questions how the teachers say to. Don't answer based off conspiracies, because you will fail. But the pyramids, they did not have any mummies in them. So why would they have built them for their kings or their pharaohs if they weren't going to even put them in there? You know, so the whole thing about it was for the pharaohs. No, they were never even in it. They never even put them in it. A whole other thing is the way they say they were built, they and hold, I don't necessarily disagree with um how they got the stones there, because they had the river. You can kind of actually see it right here. I think that's a boat. They actually had the river right there, right next to the Nile, so they were actually able to use boats to get the stones, which were miles and miles away. They came from a long distance away. They they came from uh, down in this area. They did not come from right next to it. They came from miles away downstream, or upriver, whichever the way the river flows. Um, so that's how I think they got them there, was by boat. Some people believe that they were actually using like anti-gravity, where they were actually able to make those stones hover above ground to easily be able to push or maneuver them around. Like one of my friends at the fire station, that's what he believes, is they were actually using anti-gravity technology to be able to move them around. I don't really think that, but I do think they use the boats in the rivers. They I think they use some different technology other than just putting a few hundreds of slaves to pull it up around a giant slope. I don't really believe that's how they did it, but that's what mainstream says about that. But this is what I do not 100. This, well, let's see. I don't see any pictures of it. I do not believe the way they say they cut the blocks is accurate, because there are blocks where there are blocks of the pyramids that were not used. They might have used wheels. The issue is that wheels. Let me just double check it. Was the so I the issue with that. Yeah, so they used them way back then. Yeah. But they do not say they used the wheels on the pyramids. They always just say they used. Let's see, where are they at? Just sleds. Like they put sleds underneath and pulled it with sleds. The mainstream says that that's how they did it. They did not actually use, as you can see, sleds. See, there's wheels, but those do not have wheels on them. Just sleds. But that's how they say that was, they were pulled up and placed. What was I going to search up? Oh. How per... So, I'm gonna have to go to images for this one. So, the precise cut. So, like right here. So, this is a hole that was drilled in the pyramids that just doesn't make any sense, because they did not have drill bits back then. It's believed that they did not have drill bits. There are even certain craftsmen of today's time that say that they, based off of how small the gaps between, so like if you cut a piece of wood, so when you cut a piece of wood with a drill bit, you can kind of see the markings of the drill bit going into the wood, right? Or going through. So based off of how narrow between, or the gap between each cut in that drill, according to craftsmen, that we do not even have that technology to be able to make that clean of a drill cut, with a lot of these holes in this rock. And then when you look at how precise this is, so remember, it said that they used bronze tools, which means they poured a lot of water and they used sand to help add grit, and they just constantly just went back and forth to be able to cut these stones. Based off of stuff like look at that. Look at how perfect that is. People have even gotten lasers. They brought like laser pens. Like look how flat that is. They got lasers when they went and did tours inside, and like right here, 90-degree, perfect 90-degree angle with bronze tools. Like that's just insane. I believe that they had some sort of technology that has been lost with time, because it just does not add up being able to cut that precise. That precise, right there. That's how it said that they cut this rock. Right there. Like that just makes no sense. Oh, there's the audio. Hold on, let me put my headset on so I can hear. I took my headset off. Alright. Oh, I can't even hear it. Why can I not hear it? Oh, because my controller died. There we go. Now I can.
As we have drilled and sawn, now it is time to chisel a bit. Good. We'll try to chisel some picture on this stone block. Some sort of an eye. An eye, yes.
Alright, so when they do this, try to pay attention to
mine if you
like those pictures of what I showed with how straight those cuts were, okay? Alright, yeah, let's watch this 3-minute long video so you can see what... This is how it said that they were... How they did back in the day. And you tell me what you think. Like, that much stone, that big of stone... Yeah. You're pulling my leg on that one. Like, that's all sped up. That was sped up. Like, that's not even straight, clean cuts. That's round. That's rounded cuts.
What is this? This is a kind of quartz rock. I don't know its right name. In short, we'll be dressing the stone with it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's not how the Egyptians made certain markings. That's how they made certain markings. But to be able to cut... be able to cut a straight line like that picture right here, or like this perfect block, perfect rectangled block with perfect sides like that, with just hitting with copper. With look at how much rock was used in all of this. That's six just gonna call them buildings. 6 buildings right there. Right? So you gotta imagine if they're hitting that over days, weeks, years. It took a long time to build, yes, but to have it precise, Yeah, they were talented. I'm not saying they weren't talented. I'm saying, where did that 90-degree angle go? There it is. I'm saying that they had some other technology to be able to get that straight line. Because when you look at this person's...
Do you want to know where to invest $1,000?
Not right now. So when you look at that art right there, right, that's not a straight cut. That is a round. That's round. That's not a straight cut, right? So like if I grabbed a chainsaw, right, and I went to cut a piece of wood, unless if the chain is dull, yeah, a bunch of those YouTube videos. Unless if the chain is dull, it's going to be a straight cut. If it's dull, it's going to have a bowed cut. And then if I take a router bit, that's going to, and use a certain type of router bit, that will make it angled, right? Well, or make a divot in a piece of wood. Well, that's what they're doing right here. They're like using router bits, right? It's not, it's a completely different tool. That is not how they built or how they cut that. They had to use a different tool. Also, part of what I was talking about earlier about how I do not believe the Egyptians in 3000 BC, I do not believe, or 2200 or whatever it was, BC, I do not believe that they're the ones that built the pyramids. Because inside the pyramids, like actually deep inside where the pharaoh was supposed to have been buried, there is no markings, no, what are they called? None of these. There was no markings. That's how they, that YouTube video, that's how they did these markings. I'm not going to disagree on that. But there is no markings inside the tomb. Every Egyptian thing that was they apparently built had those markings. So why would they, inside the tomb, not put markings where the pharaoh was meant to be buried? Why'd they not do that? I believe that's because some group before the Egyptians built the pyramids. Just like how we talked about, so this is also going to tie into the giants thing I talked about the other stream. There was a great flood. If you want to go biblical, the flood was, God made the flood to get rid of the Nephilim, which is, the Nephilim is the children of the fallen angels who had kids with the women, and so it created giants. That's giant memorial. You're saying they did not use that in the tombs because it's a memorial? Every other location where they found pharaohs, they had the markings saying who the pharaoh was, what he did. They had these markings, but not in the pyramids of Giza or Gaza. Giza. They did not have these markings. So that's what Christians believe why the floods happened. But now when you look, so this will also tie into another conspiracy about the lost city of Atlantis we can get into. But I believe the flood got rid of, because it's not just Christianity that believes in the flood. Everywhere in the world, every religion has some sort of story about a great flood. There was a great flood. It has been proven to have happened. That's just the great flood that happened. That's not the flood I'm looking for. So approximately, so right before the pyramids were constructed, that's right before the pyramids got constructed, about 100 years before, based off of, oh, there it was. Oh. Where did it say it? Did it say it right here? 12556. They say it happened 5,000 years ago right here, it says. So different sites say something different, 7,000 years ago. But there was a flood, scientists believe, so there's evidence for the flood right there. It's talking about it. And that's a .net, so that's believable. .org. So yeah, there was a giant flood that happened. It wasn't just in Christianity. It happened in multiple different religions across the world, multiple different stories. So I believe that the flood. So this one's kind of funny to look at. I was going to talk about how it was actually a. I'm going further off than I was meaning to. I'm misspelling it again. All right, so when you look at the map, let's see. So even if you don't believe in Christianity, it happened in other stories across the world. It wasn't just Christianity. Is what I'm getting by that. I'm just telling you that's partly that's what I believe. Why? And so the Nephilim had certain technology, and the fallen angels had technology to be able to give to the people that God did not like. So he got rid of them. Why am I still scrolling? This is not what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna go back to Google Earth. Where did Google Earth go? Google Earth. Here we go. And then satellite. There we go. Let's get rid of this. So when you look at like the floods, so you can actually see what looks like water erosion going through the Sahara right here. Because when you look at like a creek bed, right, that dried up, the creek bed will have this type of erosion. So now imagine a creek bed, but millions of times bigger. You can see it it looks like a giant river flowed through right here, right where the pyramids were, flowed right here and washed away all this. You can see these striations in the land throughout right here. So like water flowing over the top of the land. And so it washed away all of this possible technology that I believe that the ancients had, and it got rid of everything. Like you could even see it go through right here. You could see it, and this is desert also. So yeah, next time if you're at a creek bed, maybe I can. Or you can even do there. Oh, that is not what I was looking for. That's homemade. Rivers try. Maybe I can. All right. So right here, perfect. So look at this picture. Look at how the water flowed. You can see that this was eroded through water and how the water flowed, right? Now look at that. And then where was it? Was it this one? I must have had two. Nope, this was the right one. So look at that, and now look at this. Very similar. Very similar. Why does it keep going back to this? Very similar erosion, right? You can actually make out the lines. So I believe that the technology that they use to cut these perfect lines, these perfect symbols, was something different. I don't believe that they just scraped and poured water to make more of a make it a little bit smoother. I don't believe that that's what they did to make these perfect cuts. All right, now let's get into what I was actually originally going to say. All right, y'all said stuff. That's cool. I like having creeks in the backyard. That's pretty. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Yes, there was a great flood. Too melted to comprehend any of this right now. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're talking about multiple different things. Like, so I'm just going to show this. We can talk about this maybe next time I'm streaming, which might be, I'm going to be at work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to stream, but we can talk about this in a few days. So, quit that. So, the Eye of the Sahara, where is it? So I'm just going to show this. Look at that. That's crazy looking. Let's see, how far out can we go? You can still kind of see it. Look at that. The lost city of Atlantis was said to have rings, water flowing, and a giant mound around it, and water flowing through it, right into the middle of it, right? So we can talk about that later, but it was said to have been washed away or drowned, depending on how you interpret it. And so the Great Flood washed it away and lost all of that, which I believe that this group of people, because I believe that there was a big, all across the world, like everybody made pyramids and stuff. Yes, that is a strong pyramid, or triangle is the strongest structure or strongest shape you can make. So that's one reason why people say, what did you say? When we flat Earth, we could do that also this in the next few streams. It's fun to talk about. That's a fun one. To me, that's one that's fun to talk about. But so I believe that the people that were here and over here had same technology. I believe that the world was actually much more connected than that is currently believed. But the Great Flood washed a lot of that away. Okay. All right, so let's actually talk about what I was planning on talking about. So this is what I kind of think was the actual reason why the pyramids were made. To talk about why I believe that they actually had different technology back then, because for that other technology they would need like power and electricity, right? Well, Nikola Tesla, he was trying to create wireless electricity, which would be free electricity for everybody, right? So Nikola Tesla was actually funded by these corporations, and depending on who you believe, they pulled the funding because I believe the reason why they pulled the funding, it was a bunch of oil corporations that funded him, and so that's big money. And if we no longer need oil, if we no longer need it because of wireless technology, then they're going to be out of business and not be able to make money. So they pulled their funding out to be able. They pulled the funding out and forced him not be able to continue working on wireless technology. Because how revolutionary would that be if we did not need... Because wireless power is real. But on this scale that Nikola Tesla was trying to do would allow everybody in the world electricity. Obviously, you would have to set those up in different parts, not just one tower. But one tower would be able to give electricity to a lot of area and a lot of people. So he lost funding because there's just no money to be made in that, right? So they pulled the funding, and we do not have wireless technology. Because if we could do it small scale like this, why do we not build it big scale like Nikola Tesla was trying to do? Right? If we can do that little bit, that to charge a phone and a light, I mean, you can't see that. Well, yeah, it's not plugged in because that would need to go into some sort of light socket. But if we're able to wirelessly power, why do we not do it now? It's all money. So that's why Nikola Tesla wasn't able to get funding for it. All right. So the reason why I'm bringing up Nikola Tesla in this is because he tried to do it. He wanted to do it, and it is real. All right. So there is real wireless technology possibility for electricity. So when you look at a battery, where is a... All right, let's see here. All right, so this is one of the diagrams that I've seen over the years. So water would flow through. So here's a well, here's a drain, resonator. So water would flow through and make a current, which would send power, because you can flow water and it would turn certain things that would be able to build up power, and then it would be... And the headstone of the pyramid, it was a different block than the rest. And it was also encapsulated in this, what is it called? I'm going to Google it so I don't tell y'all wrong. I don't want to lie to y'all. What was put onto the stones on the pyramid? I'm still misspelling it, aren't I? Oh yeah. All right. Let's see. That's not what I... They put something on top of the stones. What did they put on it? See, you can see it on the big one right here. There's still stuff on top of the blocks itself. Used to coat. White limestone to coat the interior walls. That's not what I was looking for. What was put onto the stones outside of the pyramids of Giza? That's a... Yeah, right there. The stones had a high water content, which is unusual for normal dry limestone. So there's more proof that there was water actually flowing through the pyramids. I'm still not seeing, but you can see I'm not making that up based off of some of these pictures that there was stuff put on to the outside of the blocks. I'm just probably looking it up, typing it in weird. Where can I find? Yeah, I'm looking this up weird. I guess I'm not finding what I'm looking for. There was also a different stone on the very tip. What was the stone on the tip of the pyramids of Giza? So right there. So this is a completely different stone that they put on top of the pyramid. So versus everything else. So they put that stone on the top to be able to send out electricity out of the pyramid. So also part of it is so the stuff that they put on the outside would attract the sun and heat, and there was actually these little vents, like right here, this 5, and then this one. There's little vents throughout it that would allow heat to be able to move in and out. And see, like the gas source number 8, where's 8? 8 right here, to be able to move out and move up into this area and then do what it needed to do and then go out. So I'm not an engineer, so I don't know 100% how batteries and this type of stuff work. But you see right here, number 10, water from the Nile. It would come in right here, the water. So let's start from number 1. Number 1, pyramid energy, source of power. 2, optical source, so rays from the sun. 3, mixing vessel with 3. So that's where the stuff from like the water and all that stuff mixes. Number 4, separating chamber, so it's separating the gases. 5, so that's where the exhaust, so like the fumes and stuff. 6 is the chamber where the power is moving up into. 7, downstream. Where's 7? Right there, we already talked about that. 8, talked about. 9, continuous wave output beam. Where's 9? All right, so right there, there's output coming out. 10, 11, earth, electrified water. So in this diagram, they're talking about water actually was electrified coming out. 12 for cleaning and backwash. So it's cleaning right here to be able to clean itself. So that's actually, I saw this back in middle school. So like right there, that top part, this is obviously a crazy diagram, but the top part is where the electricity came out of. Electricity. See the top, this is obviously 3D AI, but the top part of the stone is where electricity was able to come out and power the area around. And if you ask certain locals of the area, I've watched interviews where people would just walk up, or videos of people would just walk up to random locals, and locals themselves would actually say, yeah, this was created for power as a generator. So yeah, there is your conspiracy for today. It was actually a power generator. So there we go. What do y'all think? Y'all think that's kind of crazy? Alright. Let's play some zombies. I think I hit that. Y'all got anything? Dang. Yeah, it's a... But for you, Waffles, or Best Day, for you, and do what your school says. Don't need you failing a test because you listened to me. But yeah, like I said, also is they're constantly finding new things in Egypt, but the person that is in charge of allowing or signing the proper documents for people to be able to dig and do research, he's not signing documents. He's not signing the proper paperwork. He's not letting people go in them and actually properly. So there's water going underneath. He's not letting people. He's not letting people actually do archaeology right now. He's not very good. He's part of the Egyptian government. So one more thing, and then we'll play a game of zombies, and then I'm gonna get off since I gotta go to work tomorrow. So based off that timeline, so with the water flowing right next to the pyramids, right? Talking about how landscapes change so quickly. Learn how to whistle. All right, have a good one, brother. More fried. One last thing, and then we're done with this. So, remember how I said we're gonna have to go all the way over here again. So they say this about the time period 2600 BC, 2500 BC. They're not 100% sure when this was built. But when was the Sahara a forest? Let's go back over here. 6,000. So it is 2025. So minus 2,000, 4,000. So 4,000 BC. So this climate in the area was just very different. It wasn't quite like even right here around the Nile, it's green. It's green. It's like, look, that's fields. Those are trees, right? So if the Nile was bigger, which it was much bigger. The Nile is shrinking. The Nile's bigger back then. Like, look, there's lakes over here. There's a lake in the damn desert over here. The Nile was bigger back in the day. So if the Nile was actually all the way over here and it moved and shrunk, how much of this area was actually green too, you know? And so that's also something to think about because there was a lot more water in the Sahara, especially in Egypt back then. All right, let's do I don't want to play Black Ops 6. Good, no, quit work. Why are you not working now? There we go. Let's go to Black Ops 3. Play around in Black Ops 3 zombies and then hop off. Pop open a Dr. Pepper. Alright, well, while this loads up, I'm going to use the restroom real fast, and I'll be right back. Alright. Have a good one, Waffles. My EP is finally one. Nice. Alright. Oh, we got something nice in the cookbook, it looks like. And I can't craft Percolic. Well, that sucks. That's a bummer. Well, I guess might as well use these, huh? See what we get. XP. Oh, in the chat. Cool. Cool. See if I get anything cool from this. Yeah, I was wanting to get on earlier today and maybe start a new Minecraft series, but that by the time I finally got home from the farm, it was already like 7 or 8, and then I had to eat dinner and unload the vehicles. So we just weren't able to self-medication, that's a good one. So we just weren't able to, I just wasn't able to get on early. Oh, these are all good ones, and of course I'm not able to craft any of them. Alright, let's do... Let's do a quick one. What time is it? Alright. It's midnight now. So I want to pick something that... a map that hopefully will go a little quicker. Well, we could do this map. It ain't that quick of a map, but... I will not be on August 1st. I gotta work for somebody at work that day. So I will not be able to work that day. Or I will not be able to play that day. I am going into work. He worked for me when my sister graduated high school. He worked for me, and so now I gotta pay him back.
Are you freaking kidding me? No power.
Mystery box is right there. Ooh, double points, that's nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I should be able to, since my wife is now, I think that's when school picks back up. She'll be at home and she won't be at the farm and stuff. So I'll be coming home instead of going out there to be with her. So, so I should be able to stream quite a bit that week. Because I'll go in August 1st. And then for him, and then my regular shift starts the 2nd. So I'll be off the 3rd in the afternoon on the 3rd. And off all day on the 4th. So I'll be able to stream that week. Why, you got, what's going on that week?
Ammunition on the house.
Is there something cool happening? Oh, I got a headshot on that guy. Oh, it's your birthday. Alright. We'll have you a little birthday stream. Just won't be on the first. What game do you want us to play? Turning 13. You're finally gonna be a teen, huh? Just think, in 2 years and like 2 or 3 weeks, you'll be able to get your permit to drive. Isn't that cool?
Zombies, it's time to die!
COD zombies in Minecraft? Alright. I'll try to get on a little earlier if I'm able to, so we can make that happen.
Need some more ammo.
What COD zombies?
We're a zombie. I
3 or the new zombies?
Those slimy flesh bags are in for a wild time.
You want the whole group? They start back up college, so some of them should be able to be on. Oh shh! Ooh, that was almost bad.
Ain't gonna know what hit him. Can't roll the bed if I can't place the dice.
Yeah, they're not able to play right now during the summer because they're not in college, and so they're all at home at their family's. Oh, dang it! Did not mean to grab that. So they're able. Any COD? All right. So they're at their family's farms having to do work, and they're not able to get on. They don't have good Wi-Fi.
Get a gut full of slugs.
Oh, RPK, there we go. I would definitely take that. Get more money using this though, because it takes more shots. I think there's a new Black Ops 6 Zombies map coming out around then, so maybe we can play the new one. You want some horror Minecraft? Is that what you want? Might have to do Minecraft first, since they're usually not able to get on early. They usually have to. It usually has to be at nighttime for them to be on, because they're in class all day. So I might have to do Minecraft first.
Oh yeah, devil man.
Or do you want mini games? Horror? Okay, horror. Gonna grow a farm? Cool. What are you planting? I built some stuff in my backyard to do the same. Every time it's planting season or planting time, I always forget to put stuff in a timely manner. But I got stuff in my backyard to be able to plant. I might do some potatoes for the fall. I might do that though. I like French fries. You want mini games? Alright. Alright, when the time gets closer, you might have to remind me. I have a bad memory, but we'll do it. I'm sure Cameron would be able to play. He just hasn't been able to play because he's been all the floods that have been happening. He's been working, looking for people. You said watermelon. What else? That's all I saw. Watermelon, pumpkin, corn, tomatoes. Nice. I like watermelons a lot. Watermelons and pumpkins are good. Those two would be my favorite. I don't care really too much for green beans, but if you like green beans, that's great. I'm just not a big vegetable person.
Feeling light. Need the juice.
Ooh, double points.
Wait, we are keeping score?
Oh yeah. Yeah, bunnies are not good for farm or having little gardens. So you know, I grew up on a farm, and we actually had peach trees that would grow. Our damn goats. This is part of the reason why I don't like goats. I do not like goats at all. The goats would get in the garden and eat all of our peach trees, and we also had a bunch of coons or raccoons that would get in and scratch up all the bark and eat away at our trees, and all of our trees ended up dying. So we would always have traps set up to catch them, but we were never able to catch them. My mother comes from Hispanic roots, so I eat a lot of... That's good. My mom's tried to get me to eat vegetables growing up, but I ate them. I'll eat them, but I mean, I ain't paying for it if I don't have to. I'm not making them for myself if I don't have to, you know? But if somebody else is making them, I'll eat them. I just don't like them.
Die, you undead flesh addict! That'll keep him out for a few.
When you get old enough and are able to go out on your own and are able to make your own food choices, you just don't eat the stuff you don't like. And also, so here's another little... I don't think it's really conspiracy because this actually is proven in fact. Don't tell this to your mother because you need to eat what your mom makes you. Because there are some health benefits of eating greens, but the human body has trouble. It has a harder time absorbing those nutrients just through like just how the human body's made up. And there's certain vegetables, not all of them, but certain vegetables are actually they have carcinogens in them. And of course, it's the ones I like. I guess I just like carcinogen food. And if you don't know what carcinogen is, carcinogens are what causes cancer. But not all of them have carcinogens. There's certain vegetables your body is actually able to absorb better than others. They're not all bad. But eat whatever your mother makes you. That's important. Yeah, there you go. You eat them if you have to. That's good. Yeah, there was a lot of nights where I would sit there and be like, no, I'm not eating it, Dad. And he'll just sit there for hours just staring at me, being like, "You're gonna eat it." It was like, who had the will of the other, you know? And then he'll get up, go to the restroom. I'm like, "Oh, here's my chance," and I throw it in the trash, and then he finds it in the trash. Yeah, that not a good idea. Just eat it. I'm sure my dad would have preferred to go play on his computer and play those old Command and Conquer Rise of Empire games. But he sat there to make sure I would eat them. I think Nova got off whenever we started talking about conspiracies. I saw you asked if he was still here.
Ain't gonna be any puppy's chew toy. Fuck you, Fido!
There's a glitch. I don't know how to do it, but there's a glitch where if you stand just right, you can actually, like, make... It's like right around here. You can actually make them all pile up on the other side and not be able to hit you. I don't remember how to do that, though. It's been a little bit since I did that glitch. Play Roblox? I don't know. Maybe someday I'll play Roblox, but...
Reach up and lay off the sauerkraut, man!
So you like history, right? Do you like World War II history? Like Pacific War theater versus the Japanese or the European theater?
I bite back! Fuck me, that smells!
Yeah. So I like to go to this place whenever I'm in the area. So if you ever go
To see the sunshine
to Texas and you go, there is a Admiral Nimitz museum that is in central Texas in a town called Fredericksburg. This museum is all primarily World War II, Pacific War stuff, because Admiral Nimitz was the admiral in the Pacific War, and they'll actually have reenactments in their area. They'll have reenactments in parts of they'll have reenactments on like Saturdays, which are pretty cool, because they have like this little tank that they'll drive out there, and they'll have all the different guns and flamethrowers, and it's pretty cool. I think you would like it. Also, something, if you like history, you should also look into like some of the CIA stuff, what they've done in other countries, such as like what they did in Ukraine back in like 2013. They actually helped push the Ukrainian people into overthrowing the government that they had at the time and install the government that they have in today time, which is kind of a conspiracy, but so it got proven true. So there's another thing where a lot of conspiracies around the U.S. government are actually true. So that's an interesting little thing. They've also done that like in Afghanistan. They did that a lot during the Cold War, which you'll probably learn a little bit about that in your history classes. They might talk a little bit about it, but not as in depth as I think people should be. I think people should know more about it than they do. Because yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road, but I mean that is a conspiracy in itself. What I'm thinking about. So when you look at how like the CIA and the U.S. government went to all these foreign nations and how they overthrow them. They overthrow them by dividing the nation. They'll overthrow them by getting a minority that is very vocal, and by doing certain events that can actually they can do certain events in that country that actually will makes people angry and get angry with the government and angry with who's in charge. And they'll with media, with they do this very well with using media to their advantage. So the reason why I say that is that they've done it in other countries. Just remember that as you grow up. Just look around and take everything with like a grain of salt. Because there might be another reason why certain people say stuff. They might have a different intent if you're understanding what I'm saying. But to me, I think that's a very niche conspiracy, is that they actually do use certain aspects of that against the people of the U.S. Around certain topics. Because I'm trying to do this without getting political. Because there's been like MK Ultra, like I mentioned earlier. That was actually used against the They actually tested that on United States citizens. They've tested. The CIA's done stuff where they've tested certain ideas and certain technologies on the U.S. citizens without their knowledge. So, if something is put in your face, be it conservative, be it liberal, be it moderate, I would say try and do as much of your own research as possible. Don't just take their word for it.
Yeah, and I didn't think this could get any more fun. Bring it on, freak sacks.
And if you're always asking questions, even though that might annoy certain people, it's always a safer... Oh gosh, what the... Why did I spawn like that? What was that? Oh. Wow. Now that's a... Wow, I can't believe I died like that. I just spawned right in front of him. Why was he just hanging out right by the teleporter? I don't even think I got any liquid Davidium. Alright, after it's done loading, I'm gonna get off. Yeah, I didn't get any liquid Davidium. Wow. That's crazy. But when we talk about conspiracy theories like that, it just... stuff pops in my head, and I just think about all that stuff. Like, they've... Like, here's one. This is not a conspiracy, this is fact. But it was originally a conspiracy. Came tweaking, yeah. Yeah, and then that happened. The U.S. has lost multiple nukes in the U.S. And they never got them back. They never found them. Like, there was one... Let me Google it, because I don't want to... As always, I do not want to tell you wrong. I want to tell you actual information. Like, that's why I quit playing, so that way, one, I can give you my actual attention when I was going through those conspiracies about the pyramids, and actually show you pictures and the dates and stuff, to actually show you that I'm not just making this stuff up. Accidentally... Alright, yeah, so right here, while there has been instances involving accidental releases or loss of nuclear weapons. The nuclear weapons didn't go off, but there's been numerous accidents involving nuclear weapons have occurred. In 1961, Goldsberg B-52 crashed, and the 1958 Mars Bluff B-42 incident, but these did not result in nuclear explosion. So... That's where, so the Goldsberg happened in North Carolina, where this B-52 bomber carrying 2 nuclear bombs broke up in midair, dropping the bombs. One was reportedly safely switched away from detonation. One was safely switched away. What about the other one? Mars Bluff, South Carolina. An Air Force B-42 bomber dropped a nuclear weapon on a farm. The bomb did not have its fissile core installed, but the controversial explosives detonated, causing damage and injuries. So luckily the nuclear part did not happen, but the part that starts the nuclear chain reaction did go off. Palomares, Spain, 1966. So this one happened in Spain. A B-52 bomber collided with a refueling tanker, dropping 4 hydrogen bombs. 3 landed on land and 1 in the sea, but none detonated. So this happened multiple times where the U.S. accidentally dropped nuclear bombs on U.S. soil and covered it up and did not tell the U.S. citizens. This all came out much later Because after 50 years, stuff have. I think it was 50 years. It changed a little bit a few years ago. I think it might change to 70. But after a certain amount of time, things have to be released to the public. They can no longer be classified. So at a certain period in time, everything will be declassified. So in our lifetime, unless if the CIA, FBI, or whoever, like just for example, the JFK files, not everything has been fully released to the public yet because people are going through it first. And then, not the JFK, Epstein, Epstein. So, the Epstein files, people are going through it, and everything got released on the JFK. There was stuff that has been removed by people, so we don't have everything, but everything that the government currently has been released. But the Epstein files, not everything has been released yet. So we might not even get everything for the next 50 years because there's proof that Epstein worked with the CIA. So that being something where he worked with the CIA, there's certain things about him that are classified. And so we might not get that information for another 50 years. So that'll be when I'm 75, and that'll be when you're about to turn 13. So that will be when you're 63. By the time we actually finally get everything from the Epstein case. So that's just crazy. We're getting, at least I am, I'm getting to that point in my life where there's stuff that I might never even know because it might not be released before I die, you know? Like, if something happens when I'm 55, I might never know about it. But you might. But I might not. Because 50 years after that, I'll be 105. Most people don't live that long, you know? So. But yeah, that's why, I mean, when it comes to government and when it comes to media and social media, try to do your own research because there's been times where I got caught in that. I'm not going to say if I'm conservative or liberal, but something came out on Instagram and I was like, oh, damn, this is crazy. So I sent it to a few friends and I'm like, is this real? I better double check that. And it turns out it wasn't. And then I looked dumb in front of my friends. So even if Fox News or CNN are saying something, think about it because they might have a hidden agenda. No matter who, they might have a hidden agenda. Like, just for example, Russia might say a certain thing, Ukraine might say a certain thing, and they might say two completely different things to try to get the USA to act in a certain way. Good, your mom does her research, that's good. That's always a good thing. Always doing research. Don't just blindly believe. That's good. But alright, well, you have a good night. I'm gonna go and end my stream, go to bed, and gotta wake up early. So, have a good one. Bye.